How much mystical, interesting, and unusual is hidden at the bottom of rivers, seas, and oceans? These bottomless depths conceal not only sunken ships and ancient artifacts but also mysterious creatures. Here, in the darkness of the underwater world, dwell secrets capable of evoking both fear and admiration simultaneously. The icy hand of death slowly reaches out from the darkness, leaving behind a trail of frozen lives. A garden of eels lurks among the seaweed, ready to attack at any moment, while water rings appearing out of nowhere seem to call the brave to unravel their mystery. But why describe this? You will see everything with your own eyes. Immerse yourself in this world of mysteries and discover its sinister beauty. A multi-footed worm. On October 25, 2018, off the coast of the volcanic island of White Island in New Zealand, an event occurred that forever changed the perception of the ocean depths. Two experienced divers, Steve Hathaway and Andrew Buttle, diving into the mysterious waters, did not expect to encounter something truly extraordinary. Suddenly, something enormous appeared before them, a multi-footed worm, slowly moving in waters full of mysteries and secrets. Steve and Andrew were not the type to panic at the sight of sea monsters. Their hearts beat faster with excitement and curiosity. They immediately began filming this incredible spectacle. The worm, about 8 yards long, writhed in the water like a living creature from ancient myths. It was something more than just a sea animal. It was a mystery. When the divers approached this monster, they felt a cold stream of water and a strange tension in the air. Steve dared to touch it. His face reflected surprise and fear at the same time. The worm felt soft to the touch, but its size was awe-inspiring. Andrew also couldn't resist the temptation and touched it. At that moment, they both realized this was not just a solitary organism. Most likely, they were facing a colony of creatures, known as fire bodies or pyrosomes. Ichthyologists who later studied the video were amazed by the size of this marine aggregation. Usually, pyrosomes reach only a few feet in length, but what the divers captured far exceeded all known sizes. Scientists began to propose theories about how such a massive formation could have arisen in these waters. Some suggested the influence of volcanic activity on the island's ecosystem, while others spoke of possible mutations or even previously unknown species. But the more scientists studied this phenomenon, the more questions arose. Why exactly here? How long could this colony have existed? And what else is hidden in the depths of the ocean? Each new discovery gave rise to new mysteries. The living fossil shark. Get ready to meet another mysterious and unique inhabitant of the ocean waters, feared for its appearance, the frilled shark. This remarkable creature belongs to an ancient representative of sharks that has survived since the Mesozoic era. The frilled shark inhabits the waters of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, but it is most commonly found in the deep sea zones near Japan and Australia. In appearance, the shark resembles an eel, more than the typical fish we are familiar with. Due to its primary characteristics, it is considered a living fossil. Its body can reach up to 2 yards, and its dark brown body with displaced fins resembling a tail gives it a menacing appearance. The name frilled shark comes from the folds of skin that resemble a cloak and conceal the gill slits. The teeth of this shark look like small anchors. Each tooth has 3 cusps of equal length and sharp serrations between them. The frilled shark's mouth contains about 300 teeth. Its hunting method is similar to that of a snake. By bending its body, the shark lunges forward with lightning speed. Thanks to its jaws, it can swallow prey whole without dividing it into parts, and the small, sharp teeth prevent the victim from escaping. The frilled shark's diet mainly consists of mollusks and small fish. Interestingly, the frilled shark reproduces through aplacental viviparity. The mother shark carries between 5 to 10 embryos for an incredible period of time. The shark pup is fully formed and ready for independent life. The fish's body is adapted to exist under high-pressure conditions. Its impressively large liver contains a lot of fats, allowing it to stay deep underwater. A well-developed lateral line helps it navigate in the darkness of the deep sea. Although the frilled shark sometimes gets caught in commercial fishing nets, its commercial value is low. The frilled shark poses no danger to humans. It spends most of its life at depth, only occasionally rising to the surface at night. But who knows what secrets this mysterious inhabitant of the ocean depths holds? Eels. Now imagine the choral sound of monks in the distant Himalayas. We have never seen this, but a similar mysterious gathering can be found among the inhabitants of the ocean depths. At the bottom of the Gulf of Aqaba in the Red Sea lies a settlement of eels that live their lives in complete solitude. At a depth of 16 yards, like blades of grass in a meadow, hundreds of yard-long eels sway in the rhythm of the current. These are not just sea creatures, they are true monk eels, living in their own garden. Here, harmony reigns. Spotted eels and Red Sea gorgasians, like enlightened beings, have withdrawn from the hustle and bustle of the fish world. Each of these eels has dug itself a burrow cell to avoid interaction with those who are less enlightened. Nature has taken care of them. The tough scales on their tails allow them to easily dig through the sand, and to prevent their shelter from collapsing, they coat it with mucus secreted from their body surface. In their shelter, the eels spend their days in peace and tranquility. Their existence is simple. A few organisms and the gentle movements of the waves, that's all the happiness they need. But they only leave their shelters to reproduce. After fulfilling their marital duty, they return to their measured life. The offspring embark on a long journey, leaving the future of their larvae to the mercy of the currents. However, the peaceful life of the eels is disrupted by humans. On the seashore lies the resort town of Dahab, where divers strive to witness this wondrous world. With overly intrusive interest from humans, all the eels immediately hide in their shelters. They have a defense mechanism that is so developed that scientists were unable to study it for a long time. Although similar gatherings of eels are found in the Indian Ocean, off the coast of Africa and Australia, the Red Sea gorgatia is unique. It is endemic. This fish is found nowhere else. To study their habits, scientists had to resort to extreme measures. Explosives stunned an entire colony of innocent creatures. So what should be done with life? Perhaps we should take a cue from the gorgasia. Live in harmony with the surrounding world. Enjoy the rhythm of the waves and the simple joys of life. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals, and you will find support and understanding among hundreds of monks just like you. Air ring. Recently, a video appeared on the internet that instantly went viral and caught the attention of Reddit users. The author of the recording from Australia captured something amazing: underwater formations that floated, connecting or disconnecting, creating a mesmerizing spectacle. In the video, these rings seem to dance in the aquatic environment, sometimes merging into a whole, sometimes breaking apart into separate elements. Viewers were astonished by this phenomenon and began actively discussing its nature. At the time of release, the video had garnered over 44,000 views, but a consensus on what was happening had not been reached. One of the commenters admitted, "I'm looking at something incomprehensible and it has hypnotized me." Another added with a hint of surprise, "I don't know why, but it makes me think of aliens. What could this mean?" As for this mysterious phenomenon, it remains a subject of study in the field of hydrodynamics. Perhaps the underwater world is trying to send us a message or is simply playing a joke on us. The mystery of these rings continues to intrigue and captivate the minds of viewers around the world. Jelly-like objects. At times, in the depths of the sea and on its shores, one can come across truly strange objects, the origin of which remains a mystery. In recent years, researchers diving into the waters of the northeastern part of the Atlantic Ocean have witnessed an astonishing phenomenon: huge jelly-like objects slowly moving in the aquatic environment. According to the most common theory, these are clusters of squid eggs, enclosed in a protective shell. Despite the fact that this theory has existed for a long time, it has not been confirmed. Researchers have not had the opportunity to study these formations. To solve this mystery, a group of researchers led by Haldis Ringvold from the research organization Seasnag Norway decided to take matters into their own hands. The scientists reached out to divers across Europe, asking them to share information about the gelatinous spheres and collect samples of their material. As a result, Ringvold and her colleagues gathered information on 90 discoveries made from 1985 to 2019 off the coasts of Norway and in the Mediterranean Sea, as well as in the waters of Sweden, the northern coast of Spain, and the eastern coast of the United Kingdom. All encounters with the spheres occurred from March to October, with the peak observations in Norway happening in July and August, and in the Mediterranean Sea in August and September. In the north, these formations were most often found no deeper than 21 yards, whereas in the south they were found at depths ranging from 32 to 54 yards. The sizes of the spheres varied. Ringvold and her team categorized them into three groups: up to 1.5 feet, from 1.5 to 3 feet, and more than 3 feet. Almost half of the found objects were classified as medium-sized. Interestingly, almost half of the spheres had a dark stripe running exactly through the middle, adding even more mystery. With the help of divers, Ringvold and her colleagues managed to obtain samples of 4 spheres with diameters ranging from 1.5 to 2 yards off the coast of Norway in the summer of 2019. Research revealed that these are indeed squid eggs, measuring between 0.3 and 0.7 inches, encased in a gelatinous envelope. Genetic analysis confirmed that these eggs belong to the squid Ilex coinditi from the Omistrophidae family, which is widely distributed in the North Atlantic and the Mediterranean Sea. The species was described as early as the 19th century, but its eggs were previously unknown. However, the authors of the study suggest that the larger spheres may belong to other species of squid from the same family. Scientists found out that the shell is formed by the glands of female squids and serves to protect the eggs from any threats. It keeps the eggs at the necessary depth in the water and helps them spread with the ocean currents. For now, this dark stripe on the spheres remains a mystery. Yes, it is possible that it resembles a large fish and scares off predators. After a week, the young individuals begin to secrete an enzyme that dissolves the shell and opens a way out. Squid eggs are just one of the many mysteries of the ocean depths. On beaches, one can often encounter such unusual objects that their origin raises many questions and makes one ponder what other mysteries the ocean conceals. The icy finger of death. A strange phenomenon known as the icy finger of death lurks in the dark depths of Antarctica. This ominous formation, called a brinicle or underwater icicle, can grow to the size of a stalactite, freezing everything around it and leaving a sorrowful trail of ice. The word brinicle comes from the combination of two English words brine and icicle, which already hints at its dangerous nature. These icy icicles are formed from ice, and the process of their formation is full of mysteries. When ice begins to freeze, it expels salt and other ions, forming an extremely salty liquid which prevents it from turning into ice. This water accumulates in the cracks of sea ice and when it cracks, flows out. Amazingly, this salty liquid is denser than regular seawater and rapidly sinks downward. Upon contact with it, regular seawater instantly turns into ice, creating a unique tube where one side melts and the other freezes. The brinicle was observed in the mid-20th century, but it was only recently captured on video in the waters of the Ross Archipelago. This moment became a true discovery for science. A brinicle can be up to 10 inches in diameter and reach several yards in just one day. When it reaches the ocean floor, bottom ice begins to form, rapidly expanding its area. Sea stars and urchins, the slow inhabitants of the depths, become trapped and fall victim to this icy monster. Despite the intimidating name, as noted by Andrew Thurber, an ocean ecology specialist at Oregon State University, the icy fingers of death do not pose a serious threat to marine animals or humans, although the consequences of their touch can be tragic. Such phenomena occur in shallow waters and only affect local ecosystems. They play an insignificant role in reducing the number of marine inhabitants. Thus, the icy finger of death remains one of the many mysteries of the underwater world of Antarctica, a sinister symbol of nature's power and its unpredictability. The Dragon's Lair. Once, the deepest sinkhole was considered to be the one in the Bahamas. Recent discoveries have overturned the understanding of underwater depths. These mysterious sinkholes, known as blue holes, hide beneath the sea's surface. Their hue contrasts with the bright shades of the ocean. Scientists suggest that these sinkholes were formed as a result of complex geological processes, when water eroded cavities in the limestone. Many of them appeared during the Ice Age. Blue holes vary in size and shape. For a long time, the record was held by a body of water called the Great Blue Hole in the Bahamas. Its depth is 220 yards. From above, it looks like a bowl in the shape of a hemisphere, with a diameter ranging from 27 to 38 yards, but at a depth of 21 yards, it expands to impressive dimensions, about 109 yards. Among other known giants is the Great Blue Hole in Belize, with a diameter of 1,000 feet and a depth of 390 feet. However, everything changed with the discovery of a new sinkhole in the Paracel Islands area. This archipelago, under China's control since 1974, has become home to a body of water called Dragon Hole, the deepest blue hole on the planet. Legends tell of how a monkey with magical abilities acquires a magic wand, ruling over the underwater world. The reason why the dragon became a symbol of water in Chinese culture is a story of its own. Chinese scientists who are researching corals have measured this mysterious sinkhole and found that its extent is incredible, 330 yards. On the upper levels, more than 20 different creatures reside, but below the 100-meter mark, life disappears. There is practically no air there. What does this bottomless abyss conceal? What secrets await discovery at the bottom of the dragon's lair? And once you have immersed yourself in this world, full of mysteries and dangers, you begin to realize that each enigma of the depths is not just a story, but a reflection of the power of nature. The icy hand of death, the garden of eels, and the water rings, all of them remind us that the underwater world is full of not only beauty but also threats. Leaving this dark oceanic realm, you realize its mysteries will live in your thoughts, evoking awe and admiration. The ocean keeps its secrets, and only a few brave souls dare to unravel them. But remember, the more you learn about the depths, the more questions arise. And who knows what other mysteries await you in this boundless aquatic world. Thank you for watching the video. See you next time.